Welcome to the Short Funk Podcast. I'm Tom Barbalet. Today I wanted to talk about travel. We were hoping to get away to the UK this year. We've got a variety of other travel commitments that we want to do. But I've realised on a number of levels that my garden, the experience gardening, the experience going outside, manipulating soil, growing plants, getting a sense of the amazing abundance of natural sunlight that just creates this growth and this wonder, for want of a better term. This is really a current motivating factor for me. In fact, historically, for the past 6 months at least, I've had pretty bad migraines that have required medication. I find the more time that I spend in my garden, the less that I need migraine medication, which is really very, very curious. But within this relationship with the garden, I've realized that it's something that's very central. And if we're going to travel this year, and we've got a few bits and pieces of travel that's coming up through the summer, I'm going to have to heavily utilize my greenhouse to protect a lot of the stuff that I'm growing. And thankfully this year I'm also implementing pots. So I'm putting the plants in pots and to move them around to the pots so they can track the sunlight. But also so when we go away, we can just dump a bunch of these things in the greenhouse with the view that the humidity will be maintained. Obviously we need to do a heavy watering before we leave. But basically, the plants will be good for probably about 7 days if we're lucky in this environment. And in this slide, it strikes me as very strange that the garden is such an influence now on my thinking. Certainly, it's been an influence with regards to these short funk recordings, reducing the number of short funk recordings because of the garden influence and then doing them all in bulk. But the garden is so much a part of my life now that it's difficult to concede going away, particularly to the UK, through the summer months just so... just because 10 days, this is the kind of extent that I'd be really quite concerned. You can do automatic watering and a bunch of other things. There are ways that I can make this thing work. But for now, the plants are, I don't know what we'll call them. They're kind of post-seedling, but they're in that between seedling and plant phase, the teenage period of plant development. And I just look at them almost helplessly there, irking their way up to the sun, basically. And I think to myself, this is the essence of a garden. And this is the essence of a gardener in terms of the pleasure to see these plants kind of grow and develop and, go through their own particular turmoils, a few cold snaps, this kind of stuff. But in terms of my general enjoyment, in terms of what I'm getting out of it, yes, going to the UK clearly would be a very nice trip to do. I'm going to possibly have to be in San Francisco for a period of time. I can work out that as well. Historically, what I've done with gardens through the state is either, when my wife has been available and my wife water the garden, unfortunately it doesn't look like she'll be available through this period of time. So what I've done historically, and this might explain how crazy I'm associated with these things, is I've taken a train back, midway through, midweek, typically the Wednesday evening. I'll leave early-ish, maybe 4, take a train down here, do the watering, and then take a train back. And that typically it's typically 3 hours worth of transit, including the watering time. But this is what I'm willing to do in order to maintain my plants. And 3 days is quite comfortable watering and then, another 3 days. I'm putting it out there in a short funk recording. I like occasionally being a little candid associated with my neuroses here, just to give feedback to listeners, this kind of stuff. Tom Barbalet in San Jose, signing out.